How's it going, all my dorky Nerf enthusiasts out there? I'm back for another episode of Blaster Talk, where we start off with the blaster. In this case, it's the Venom Pro, and we segue on to maybe one, maybe two, maybe three different topics. I'll try not to do that. Someone said keep it focused, and I agree. But my squirrel brain is all over the place. The Venom Pro is one of those blasters. Now we're gonna get right into it. That I believe anybody in the hobby should have themselves one of these or multiple Venom Pros in their collection. If you're gonna play, if you're gonna be serious about the hobby, I think you should go out and get yourself one of these. Dart Zone's offering here is a great innovation. It's a robust little blaster. It works. And there's all kinds of other things you can do with this in terms of mod potential and other things. But bottom line is, it's great to have in your collection. And I think everybody should have one. It's readily available, I believe, Target and Dart Zone. You can buy it directly from Dart Zone. Here, let me share this. So that's Dart Zone 59 for the blue variant. So you're paying $5 more if you want a blue variant. And then over at Target for $5 less, you can get the version that I have. So they are available, and I would recommend anyone who is in the hobby, you should go out and get yourself one. They're fantastic little blasters. What I will say is, it's one of those, I wish I had a little more control. If there's any gripe from my perspective on this blaster, I wish there was a bit more control on being able to hit one shots. I like to control my shots and take, rev it up and take one shot at the downrange at a target. Sometimes and oftentimes, I would say, you go to shoot once and two darts will fly out. It's very easy to hold this thing down and dump an entire mag. I wish I had a bit more control there just out of the box, but that's my really only gripe about the blaster. Now, I will say there is ongoing debate about the rev trigger. Some folks, I think, if there was the biggest criticism, if you were going to have one, would be about this rev trigger. Some people don't like it, right? It's in the back here. You need to hold that down to rev the blaster. A lot of people are used to having rev triggers here, or two-stage trigger pull here to rev into fire. I think what blaster has that? Anyway, but this is the biggest sort of downside to the blaster. If you listen to others review this, they sometimes have issues here. What I will say is I don't mind it. I actually like it because you really have to grab a good purchase on the blaster, really tighten up on it to rev it in the back here, and ultimately you want to have a nice purchase on the blaster. The firmer your grip, the better your dart will go down range, right? Especially if you're acquiring targets, you want a nice firm steady grip. You don't want it loose. So I don't mind this rear trigger rev. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. Mind you, I haven't been playing in the hobby that long, but long enough. I don't mind this. But you can always go and look at, there's mod guides to put in a rev trigger here. Even I think to do a two-stage trigger pull. But one mod I do want to talk about is this guy here from Containment Crew. I'm gonna share this. Let's just share this quickly, promote those guys down there. Here's Containment Crew. Containment Crew parts. If you go down here, they offer this B car for about $18. I would recommend getting this for the Venom. So if you're out there, I really source it out from them and get yourself one of these if you have a Venom at home. The reason this is so good is because I believe in my testing I got better groupings from the darts as they were coming out, tighter groupings I should say, and it helps to lower your FPS. So if you wanted to go and crony this and take this down to an HVZ, if you just did stock to crony, you might not get it through. But if you add this, you will definitely be able to crony this for an HVZ event. And this is a very simple mod here. Let's do this real time. Very simple mod guide. I'm not that good at those things, but here we go. One screw, don't lose those. Just a screwdriver is all you need. Probably the simplest, one of the simplest mod kits you'll ever install. What I forgot to tell you to do is undo the battery drawer first, or cover, whatever you want to call it. Take out your battery, and you can just slip this off. If you find it having it tight, I find this Picatinny rail here. If you lift up on it a little bit, you can slide it right off. You can grab this barrel, yank it out. It's one solid plastic piece. You're going to put the bearing scar in, bearings down. I made a mistake of trying to install it like this. Didn't work. But it's fairly intuitive. You see how this shape is? You can't really mess it up. It kind of reminds me of when you were a kid and you had that bucket with the cutouts and the blocks. And you would put that in. Anyways, you just seat that in firm till it won't go anymore. You're going to put this back on. Make sure you don't pinch any of your wires. Don't want to do that. You'll have to rewire the blaster. Put in 2 screws. There we go. Screw number 1. Screw number 2. And essentially, that is it. That is your mod. Put your battery back in, battery cover, and you're off to the races. Now, if you run with this mod, if you run it through at your crony at the HVZ, it's gonna under 120. I think I did some test videos. You're gonna get mad now, but please don't yell at me. I didn't upload these. I was shooting around with my son on the range, and we did some crony. There we go. So that's with the mod Scar in 117. That's a bad dart there. What else? 125. That's a little hot. Is this the right video? Yeah, 120. 113. And 117. So you're good. You're hitting your shots under crony. This blaster is then ready to go for HVZ. I believe Containment Crew has different diameters. So some with a little bit of a wider diameter. I believe this is the tightest one. But it's a great mod for this blaster. And if you have a Venom and you don't have this B car, I suggest you go get one. There is an argument to be made that flywheelers don't need scars at all. That, you know, it depends on your motor and your flywheels and your spacing, and that's what gives your dart the proper trajectory to be on point. But I don't know. I found in my testing, just doing it without the B car versus the B car, I was getting a bit of a tighter spacing in my groupings on this blaster. So for me, I would recommend getting this and this upgrade. Very simple. Very simple. There's other mod kits. The one I do want to get, I think it is Xfox Games has a SMG kit that goes on, foregrip, extended barrel, battery tray, I should say, and stock. I really like their kit. I might try to get that, see if I can get it installed on this guy. But there's lots of things out there if you want to check them out in terms of mod kits for this guy. And again, being so available to purchase, that's fantastic. Now I'm going to get into my segue now on this blaster, and what I wanted to say is I think this blaster would make a great club blaster. So when you think about your club, if you want to run a club, you would need to be able to have blasters that you can either loan out or run events with. And you got to think, if you have a club, you want to be able to run an event where people just have to show up and you hand them gear. So what blaster would be best for that? Now that's a debate in itself, but I think the Venom Pro would make an excellent club blaster, right? You can have tons of these. I guess the only downside to having running Venom Pros as your club blaster is the fact that you need to charge the batteries, and somebody would have to be in charge of making sure all the batteries are topped up before your event, which could be a bit of a downside. But this would make a great blaster. How many would you need, do you think? I think a club would need at least 40 units to be safe to say, you could run 20 aside. That's a good game. You could limit to 5, 10, 15 aside. But I think a good number for a club to have would be 40 units. You know what would be even nicer is if the community got together, maybe did a fundraiser every year, and outfitted clubs around everywhere, a club set of blasters. Imagine that. What do you think you would cost to get a club set of Venom Pros? I say anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000. What about you? What do you think? If I gave you a budget, let's say the budget was $10,000, what club blaster would you want to get? Still, if we did a fundraiser as a community and gave clubs, maybe one club a year, a club set of blasters, would the Venom Pro be one of those? I think it would. I think it'd be good. Because the sheer fact that you can put an insert here and bring this blaster down to like sub 120s, is great, because now you can run a blaster in HVZ events. If you have club members who don't have blasters, they can still show up to the event with you, and you can loan them one of the blasters. And again, it shoots sub 120, so that's perfect. Also for your younger folk who like to play, it all depends on who you're catering to in your club, but the younger kids, 120 is a good number to be playing with. Or you can take the insert out and then run it 130, 140. I would just leave these in and run them always at a low HVC number. It's still good in CQB in close quarter, but if you're running this outdoors, remember, you're going to be running with this blaster. You're not going to be sitting back at 30 plus yards tagging people at a distance. The Venom Pro is meant to get it in, sub 20 yards, 10 yards maybe, to be really accurate. So you're running around if you're using this blaster. This blaster, for those of you who don't like to run, would be an effective sidearm, right? Someone gets close to you, you can take out your target. But yeah, that's the Venom Pro. I don't know what more to say about it. There's been enough said about this blaster. Again, if you don't have one, go out and get one. Get yourself a modded insert here, if you can. But you should have one of these in your collection. And if you're a club, would you like to get a club set of these? That'd be kind of cool. That'd be really cool, actually. I think we should do that more often. Get together and just, if we can get these types of blasters out to clubs and have them run events, that'd be amazing. More people will be playing. Some of the cost to entry is the actual equipment. Most folks that show up to a club event will bring their typical Nerf blasters from Hasbro, but those don't shoot anywhere near what this would shoot. And then the play experience gets to be not fun for those that are playing with underpowered blasters. So you want to be able to say, here you go. Try this guy out. And the fact that it's so available, if they like it, they can go and get their own. Right? You could promote it. Say, hey, go on Dirt Zone's website, pick yourself up a blue one, or go down to Target and get yourself a green one. Target's $5 cheaper for these, but anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know what you would run in the comments. Leave a comment about what a club blaster you think is the best, and why you think it would be good to run as a club blaster, or if you think the Venom Pro is great, add other reasons why you think this would make a good club blaster. Anyway, that's enough of me yammering. I'm going to keep this short this time and not go off on too many tangents. Hope I did a good job this time around. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao. Now I got to get my little mouse and stop the recording for reals. Talk to you. Peace.